Let's straight away look at the top breaking news at the top of the show. India exports to the US are up at $1.3 billion year on year. The Trade Secretary has said India-US exports hold despite the tariffs that we have been imposed with. Trade Secretary has also mentioned that there is no timeline yet for the India-US deal. Although the final stage is toughest, Trade Secretary has also said that the April to November exports to the US now stand at $59.04 billion. Also, Indian imports from the US have also risen to $35.4 billion. India's November exports to the US have also jumped to $6.9 billion. Also, India's November exports to the US are higher than the October numbers, and India's November exports also to the US have beat a year-ago level as well. Let's straight away look at getting more details on the same from Karishma Sudani, who's been tracking this news for some time now. Hi Karishma, good afternoon to you. Tell me, how are you reading up this trade data? What has the Trade Secretary really pointed out? Well, the one point is good that despite the tariffs, it's not too bad a picture for India right now.
Absolutely, Sakshi. In fact, numbers definitely tell a story of their own. And I was here at Vanijya Bhavan with the Commerce Secretary along the trade briefing, where they had spoken about how the deficit definitely narrowed to a 5-month low. But what's more important is how we've picked up our exports numbers when it comes to the US, because September and mainly October saw a slight slump, but with November seeing good numbers, it speaks high of the fact that Indians are holding their fort, the exporters are holding their fort in supplying to the US markets. Now, important to understand is what happens ahead. We know that Deputy USTR's team had visited India from Washington just last week, and there were deliberations and discussions happening with the officials in New Delhi. How soon can that be converted to a trade deal is a question to ask, because Commerce Ministry, which has been reiterating for a while now that this is not about deadlines, this is not about timelines, this is more about getting a fair and a balanced deal on both the sides. Well, slight hints given on the fact that there may not be further formal negotiations. In fact, they will continue to have these conversations physically and virtually, and they're hoping that at least they'll be able to finalize the first part of the deals.
Absolutely. So that's something that we are going to be closely watching out for also going forward from here. Keep an eye out on the same, Karishma.